You guys are showing that you guys are serious. You want to take your business to the next level. So my name's Kylo. Long story short, gotta keep it short. I was born in Hong Kong and raised in Philly. I'm 32 years old. When I was 10 years old, by the time I was 10, I thought I had my life all planned out. By the time I'm 18, go to college, go to University of Pennsylvania, go to Wharton Business School, one of the best business schools probably in the world. Get good grades. By 21, I want to get a good job, high paying salary, and do something in entrepreneurship, do something in business, and get a nice car, get married, get a big house, and that was the life. And especially when you grow up in an Asian community, especially over the weekends, your parents tend to go down to Chinatown and eat, and they talk about their kids. They're like, oh, my kid's going to Harvard, my kid's getting 4.0 GPA, my kid's this doctor, this and that, and really just, I'm one of the, I'm not one of the typical Asian child where you get good grades and do well in math. And I suck at math. A lot of people say, "Oh, you gotta be good at math when you're Chinese." But no, it's not like that. So I did really bad in school, and ever since high school, I started hanging out with the wrong crowd. I started hanging out with bad people, and that's the time when a lot of people, a lot of kids, a lot of the guys start going through this what I call like the gangster phase. Where you start wearing like baggy jeans and triple extra large t-shirts, and I thought I was tough. I was a wannabe gangster. Started hanging out with the wrong people, and eventually I started selling weed because I saw the people that I was hanging out with. Some of them were making like 10 to 20K a week, and here I am trying to get a job at Dunkin' Donuts and made like, what is it, back then it was like $5.50 an hour, and then with tips, give or take, I was making $6.50 to $7 an hour, and I was like, why should I do that when I can make what they're making, like, whoa, 10,000 a week, 20,000 a month, whatever. So being young and naive, you're greedy, you want to live life on the fast lane, you want the girls, you want the Porsche, the Beamers. So I eventually went down that route where I started selling weed, and then I started selling ecstasy, and then eventually led to cocaine. Started messing with the gang members, and I was kind of affiliated. And eventually in freshman year of college, it started escalating. I started pushing more and more cocaine, and one day, I remember Thanksgiving Eve 2004, one of my most trusted friends, it was a good friend at that time, but we don't, obviously we don't want to talk anymore, but he set me up, right? So it was either he set me up or do a lot of time, or he would have spent probably like 3-4 years in jail or prison, but he set me up, and I felt it was suspicious at the time. Like, why are we going to this motel? Like, we've never dealt at a motel. Like, why? So, but because when you trust your friend, and at that time it was a lot of money, you just overlook things, and you're like, oh, it's no big deal. All right, let's go. So I was set up. They had undercover cops, raided the motel room, and I was arrested, with guns pointed at me. And my friend got away, but I couldn't because the people that I would have to rat out, they were gang affiliated. So if I ratted them out, if I snitched them out, then my friends and family would be in danger. So I ended up spending time in Bucks County Corrections, which was right the outskirts of Philly, for 2 years. And total, I had to spend 3 years, but 2 years in jail and 1 year parole. So, when I was arrested Thanksgiving Eve, I thought everything that I dreamed of, just went out the window. It's just like, man, there's no possibilities of, I wanted to become, what I wanted to become when I graduated from college, and everything went out the window. And I remember when I was in the holding cell that night, the cop that arrested me, he was like, make sure you prepare for this script, because you're going to be saying it for the rest of your life, well, until you retire, is, would you like fries with that? And that's what he said, because I at that time, it was like, man, I'm getting a felony, I'm going to be spending a lot of time in jail, I'm going to, what am I going to do? So that's what I remember, like every single day was what he said, and that became like a great motivational factor for me. It's like, when something happened to you, it can either be motivation or it can hold you back, right? So that time, that moment, and every single day since then, I would think about that, and that was a great motivational factor for me. So, anyways, I was bailed out the day after of Thanksgiving because it was holiday, so I was bailed out, and then I was sentenced to jail September 2005. And I had to spend, 2005 till August of 2007, I was at Bucks County Corrections, and during that time, I would spend a lot of time reading books. I forgot what I was reading, but I was reading personal development books. And it helped me to begin to dream again. Like, I started seeing possibilities, like, okay, even though I have a felony, there's a lot of things that I can't do, but there's other ways around that. Right? And one of the ways to go around that is to become an entrepreneur. You can own a business, you can own a restaurant, whatever, if you have the money, if you have the loan. Or nowadays, you can do internet marketing. So I started seeing the possibilities and started to dream again. And during those times, just when I thought as a kid, during childhood, you would think your parents are annoying, they're the worst people, you don't want to talk to them. Almost every single week, they came to visit me. And just when you think you're young, you're the man, you got money rolling in, you think all your friends will come see you, and the only friends that I had at that time was my parents. Right? They came to visit me almost every single week. The only times they missed it was because there was like an emergency or something that they really had to do, but they came to see me. And so at that time, it helped strengthen our relationship with my parents. And just when you think they're the worst people, they're actually your best friends. So, long story short, when I got out, August of 2017, that first month when I got out, I was thinking like, man, what am I going to do? It's like a whole new world when you go out, because you spend so much time in jail and in prison, whatever, that the people inside, the correctional officers, the inmates, they become your friends and eventually family. It almost feels like home is in jail, and outside it's like you're in a different world. So that's why a lot of people recommit, a lot of people go back in. It's not because they're bad people, it's just they don't know what to do. There's not a lot of opportunities. People go look for jobs and they get turned down. I got turned down when I got out. I got turned down for Walmart, restaurant jobs. It didn't matter if I had like suit and tie and tailor suit, and it wasn't expensive, but when you tailor it, you look like $1 million. But it doesn't matter if you're smart, it doesn't matter if you're overqualified, as long as you check that box where it says, have you been convicted of a felony, you don't really stand a chance. So, but fortunately, I found a job at Salad Works. I don't know if they have them around here, but it's a franchise. I was dishwashing for $7.50 an hour. So instead of complaining that I have a $7.50 job an hour, it was a blessing. It kept me afloat, to pay some bills, help pay some rent. And So during that time while I was dishwashing, when I was not working, I started looking online and figuring out ways to make some extra income. So I was one of those people that would go online and search make money online on Google. And, and eventually it landed on like YouTube videos, and one of my best friend at the time, he mentioned to me like, life will be okay, there's always a second chance, this and that, and then he's like, why don't you go check out this business opportunity? So I was one of those guys that got into one of those hotel meetings, and it helped me dream again. It helped me like see the potential. It's like, wow, I can go make a lot of money, unlimited income potential. Didn't matter if I had a criminal record. Then you don't have to fill out an application for like a job. So even though it didn't really work out, going to meetings and trying to build the business, network marketing business, it helped me believe that there's possibilities outside of working a regular job, or becoming this successful lawyer and doctor that all the parents want to be. So I had to do things not the traditional way. And a lot of people say like, oh Kai, you're shy, you don't go out. And a lot of times it's not because I'm introverted, it's a lot of times because I didn't want to go out, and I didn't want people to ask me, what do you do for a living? Because I didn't have anything going on for me. It was like everybody else is like, oh, I'm an engineer, I do this, I do that, I make this kind of money, I drive this kind of car, and what do you do, Kai? And I just say I work at a restaurant. I didn't want to tell people, 21, 22, going on 23, that I'm just washing dishes, I have nothing going on. So a lot of times I just stayed home. I wanted to hide at home. I wanted to be behind a computer and figure out ways to make money online. Ways where I don't have to talk to people. I didn't want people to ask me questions. So that's where I began my journey in online marketing, digital marketing space. So, sorry, I was like rambling. So I wanted to give you some advice on maybe one of you guys or somebody out there is going through that experience that I've gone through, is that when you first get started in entrepreneurship, or you want to change in life, is that you first have to change your association. So I could have gone back out to society, and I could have gone and do the same things, sell drugs, hang out with the same people, and maybe I wouldn't have been lucky, right? Maybe next time I do it, I would have been shot, killed, or whatever. Maybe spent lifetime in prison. So first thing you gotta do is change your association. So either you limit your association with people, like maybe your friends that don't believe in you, or even family. Family might be holding you back. You have to limit your time with them, and disassociate with people that are like drug dealers, like for example. You gotta just cut them out. Just stop hanging out with people that don't. Yeah, just stop hanging out with people that don't help you grow, and you have to just stop spending time with them. Okay, and then you spend more time associating with people that help you grow. So I didn't have mentors. I didn't have mentors like physically there to help me. But I went on YouTube, I went on Google, I went on Facebook, and I started associating. I started spending more time with people that would help me grow, whether directly or indirectly. Most of the time when nobody's there to help you, you're learning indirectly. Those become your friends, like audiobooks, books, and YouTube videos. There's a lot of free resources online where you start thinking like them, you start talking the way they talk, right? You start building up your posture, and maybe you start making videos and talk the same way that they do. So I started practicing and improving the way I market online and stuff like that by just spending more time studying people that been there and done that, right? Even though they didn't physically directly help me, I was being helped by just watching what they were doing. So, those of you guys that are in this business, it's really not it's really not about the money. It's more about the time freedom, and there's a difference. Like, you can make a lot of money, you can make 6-figure, 7-figure, and you can buy, whatever car you want, or the house that you want, or all the vacations that you want. But really, you're doing this for time freedom, and also to help change someone's life. You never know the next person that look at your link, or the next person that you share the book with might change their life. And a while back, I would think like, oh, if I send somebody a link, or if I send somebody this opportunity, I'm trying to make money off them. And that was my mindset at first, but nowadays it's really the next person that you share this with, legendary marketer, share this book or the link, you might change their life. So it's all about time freedom, especially like what I've done, what I've gone through. Spending time in jail, like you tend to, most people tend to take it for granted, right? They wake up in their own bed and they eat whatever they want. They see their friends and family, and those are the things that I couldn't do when I was in jail. Is that I was sleeping in bunk beds, and you're spending time with inmates, and you're eating food that's not even healthy for you, and I've did that for 2 years. So to me, it's not about the money or all the money that you can make here. It's about just time freedom, and spend more time with your friends and family. And especially what happened to me, I my relationship with my parents was better, and so I don't know what else to say, but hopefully this inspires you. Thank you.
Good job, Carter. Clap it up for Carlo, y'all.